Hey everyone, here I have a question on linear equation and I got this question from a comment section. We have to solve this, get the value of x. And here we have a variable x and the constants are fraction. Let's see how to solve. Whenever you're solving an equation, the first aim is to bring all the variables to one side and the constants to other side. Here we'll bring all the variables to the left side of the equation, which is LHS. On the left side, we have a 2x and minus 3x, right? So let's write down that. So 2x minus 3x. I'm solving from here itself. I'm not writing the equation again. And I have x on the right side of the equation. So I have to transpose this x to the left side. I'm using a transpose method here. You can also use balance method. In balance method, you have to subtract x on both the side because here the x is positive. In order to eliminate x from the right side, you have to subtract x. When you're subtracting x, you have to do it on both the side of the equation. And here I am using transpose method, therefore I'll transfer x to the left side of the equation. When you use a transpose method, the signs will change. The plus will change to minus and vice versa. If it is negative, it will change to positive. Here x is positive. When it transfer or when we change it to the next side of the equation, that is LHS, the sign will change. It will be minus x. And on the right side, I am left with 3/4. Now I have brought all the variables to the left side. On the left side of the given equation, I have minus 3/4 and minus 5/2. This two constant or the fraction, I have to move it to the right side. Now you can see that both are negative. When you transpose this both to the right side, it will be positive. So we get plus 3/4 and plus 5/2. Now we have transposed all the variables to the one side and fractions or the constant to the right side. Now we have to solve it. So we'll solve step by step. On the left side, let's solve the first two terms. Here we have plus and minus, like both the signs, right? So if you use a BODMAS rule or BIDMAS rule, we can solve addition or subtraction, whichever comes first when you're solving from left to right. So let's go from this side to this direction and we'll solve 2x minus 3x. Now there are multiple ways to subtract this. You might have learned about the same sign, different sign. So what I prefer here is I'll change this to addition. If you have learned this method, that's good. Otherwise, you follow whatever method you have learned in your school. So when you're subtracting two integers or terms, the first one remains same, which is 2x will remain same. Let me rewrite this. And instead of subtracting, we will add the additive inverse of the second term. Now what is additive inverse? If you have learned about additive inverse, that's good. If suppose I have a number 4, then what I should add to this 4 to get 0? If I add minus 4, I'll get 0. So minus 4 will become additive inverse of 4. This you remember that. What is additive inverse? It's the same number with opposite sign. Now if I give you minus 2, its additive inverse will be 2 because minus 2 plus 2 is 0. So here 2 will become additive inverse of minus 2. So you get the same number with opposite sign. Now let's come back to the subtraction. Whenever you're subtracting integers, the first integer will remain same. Here we have a term. So first term will remain same. And instead of subtracting, you will add with the additive inverse of the second term. Your additive inverse is minus 3x, right? And then we have here minus x. Let me keep it like that. And let's solve the right side now. Now here we are adding the fractions. When you're adding the fractions, you have to make sure that denominators are same. Here we have 4 and 2. They are not same. They are not a like fraction. Here I am trying to add all the fraction together. So what we will do, we have to make it same. To do that, we have to find the LCM of the denominators. Here we have 4 and 2. So I'll find the LCM of 4 and 2, which is 4. Now if you don't know, you can do it in this way. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 ones are 2. I am dividing here with a prime number which is 2. And again we have 2, 2 ones are 2 and here 1. We got the 1 at the last step, so you can stop there. Now multiply these factors. 2 times 2 is 4. Therefore, LCM is equals to 4. Now this you have learnt in a fraction chapter how to add and subtract. So I am not going in detail. You have to add the fractions. Now we know that the denominator should be equals to 4. If you look at the first fraction and the second fraction, denominator is 4. So we don't have to do any change there. Let's write it same as it is. Now for the third fraction, we have 2 in the denominator. Now this we have to change it to 4. So what I will do, I cannot just simply write 4 there. I have to find the equivalent fraction of 5 over 2 such a way that I get 4 in the denominator. So how to find the equivalent fraction? This you have learnt in the fraction chapter. If you don't remember, that's fine, I'll explain you. To find the equivalent fraction, and here we have a condition. We want 4, we want specific here, number 4 in the denominator. So how to find the equivalent fraction? To find the equivalent fraction, we either multiply or divide by any number. But here we will not multiply with any number because we want 4 in the denominator. So think of a number, you should multiply with this 2 to get 4. So we know that 2 times 2 is 4. So multiply 2 in the numerator too. So whatever number you're multiplying in the denominator, you have to multiply in the numerator too. Now here we have a condition. We want 4 to be in the denominator. That is, we're multiplying with 2. We're trying to make it 4. If you're finding an equivalent fraction, you can actually multiply with any number, right? But here we want 4. That's why we're multiplying with 2. Now let's come back to the equation. Now look at the first two terms. Here you're adding integers of opposite sign. Now you can remember this rule. When you're adding integers of opposite sign like a plus minus or minus plus, you will actually subtract the integers and put the sign of a number which is greater. So let's subtract it. So when you subtract 3 and 2, you get 1. So here it will be 1x because we have 2 and minus 3. So it's like a 3 minus 2 is 1. Now put the sign of a number which is greater. Here 3 is greater than 2 and 3 is negative. Therefore we get minus 1x, or you can just write minus x. And here we have minus x is equals to, so I'll write this here. It will be minus x and minus x. Now let's rewrite this. So this is 3/4 plus 3/4. Now multiply. Now numerator numbers, we have 5 and 2, 5 2s are 10, and the denominator it is 4. We are subtracting here, so there is no coefficient. This means that we have a coefficient 1, remember that. So minus x is same as minus 1x. Now let's subtract it. The first term will remain same, which is minus x. Instead of subtracting, you will add the additive inverse of second term. Now this is positive, x is positive, right? Its additive inverse will be minus x. Now remember, this negative sign is the operation minus. It is not the sign of x. Remember that. So x is positive. Its additive inverse will be the same number with opposite sign. So here we have 1x. So you can write minus 1x or just x is equals to, now on the right side the denominators are same, it is 4. This means we can add the numerators. So these fractions are like fraction. When the fractions are like fraction, the denominator will remain same. You have to just add the numerators, right? So let me rewrite here. So minus x plus minus x. Now this we have to solve it. So on the left side what we have, we adding two terms of same sign. When you're adding two terms, this is for addition. Remember, for addition it is different. When you're adding integers or terms of a same sign like a minus minus or plus plus, you will add the numbers and the sign will remain same. So here we adding them. The coefficient, there is no coefficient. This means we have 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. We get 2x, and since both are negative, it will be minus. We'll get minus 2x is equals to, here we have 4 in the denominator. Now add 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 10 is 16. We get 16 divided by 4. We can cancel 16 and 4, it's divisible. 4 ones are and 4 fours are 16. So what we get minus 2x is equals to 4. Now here we have to eliminate this minus 2. We want only x. So how to eliminate this? This is minus 2 times x, you're multiplying, and multiplication inverse operation is division. I'm solving it here. Therefore, on both the sides of the equation, you divide by minus 2. Remember, we don't even want that negative sign there. We have to eliminate that too. So, we'll divide both the sides by minus 2. So, left side that minus 2 will get cancelled. We get x. On the right side, 4 divided by 2 is 2. And since we have one negative sign, you get the negative sign in the question. That is, you get the negative sign in your answer. Therefore, the x value is minus 2. So, this is how you have to solve this given equation. I hope this question is clear. If you have further question or doubt, you can drop a comment. Thank you so much for watching.